Here's the breakdown for the Call of the Dead Remastered Easter egg. Hit the power switch found in the control room with the ship and then head to the famous metal door found underneath the main lighthouse entrance and melee it to interact with the original 4 characters. Once those original 4 characters have stopped talking, a fuse will spawn in the room just above you, just like the original Call of the Dead Easter egg. It can be on either desk or by the locker. Once you grab the fuse, you just want to place it into the control panel found to the right of the metal door. Once the characters stop talking again, there'll be 4 pods around the map that will light up with a red light, which you need to blow up with a grenade. I highly recommend using the Semtex grenades, which you can just buy at the end of the ship near Mule Kit. Just like the original Easter egg so far, you can find one from the window behind the stamina up area, you can find one off the ship just near the MPL wall by, you can find another just off the drop down leading back to spawn from the ship, and you can find the final one just opposite the metal door itself. Once all 4 pod lights are destroyed, you can knife the door again to begin the next step. This next step is co-op only, so if you're a solo player right now, you do not need to do this step, and I'll have the chapters on the timeline of this video so you can skip to what's relevant. But if you're in a co-op game, you'll need to secure a vodka bottle. Now the way you do this is you want to look around the railings of the map that's on and around the ship or by the PhD room, and you'll find the vodka bottle encased in ice right above a location that a player can stand under. Now I'm sure most of you watching this video remember how to do this step from back in the day because it's parallel to the original Call of the Dead. But in case you don't, what you need is 1 player to stand where the encased bottle is and 1 player to stand directly underneath it. The first player will melee the ice, releasing the bottle, and the second player below will grab the bottle as it falls. The player who grabbed the bottle will just need to place it in the pneumatic tube found to the left of the metal door. Interact with the door and we now reconverge to a point in this guide where the steps are relevant to both co-op and solo players. Head up to the ship control room, turn the wheel twice, and then look at the 3 levers found to the right hand side. The first lever on the left will need to be pulled down once, and the lever on the far right will need to be pulled down 3 times. Next, there's 4 radios around the map that you need to quickly activate in order. The first is found underneath the power room atop the electric cabinet. The second is to the right of stamina up on some barrels. The third is on the ship just next to the receiving end of the zip line. And the final one is under the stairs in the room with the metal door. In solo, a green light will immediately beam itself onto a submarine, but in co-op, there's another step that's necessary to do this. Again, this step is not necessary for solo players, so they can skip to the next one. Between the speed coder tunnel and the AK-74U lighthouse wall by, there'll be 4 foghorns that need to be hit in order as quickly as possible. The order is always the same, and it starts with the lower level foghorn found by the pond. Second is found immediately right from the speed coder tunnel. The third is found just by the AK-74U wall by, and the final one is found by a small piece of land by the lantern found just after the speed coder tunnel. The simplest way to do this is to have 1 player on the lower level and 1 player on the upper level. Coordinate and interact with these foghorns in the order I showed them, and what will then happen is the green light will beam itself to the submarine. Again, we now converge to a point in the guide that's relevant to both solo and co-op players. There's 4 pieces of paper around the map with randomly generated numbers assigned to a color. You want to note the color and the number that they are. In the Juggernaut room, you'll find a piece of paper on the floor. Another is found inside a life buoy by double tap. Another is found to the right of the blue dial found in the lighthouse. And the final piece of paper is found in the floor in the room just behind stamina. You'll then want to head to the lighthouse and interact with the dials just like in the old Call of the Dead Easter egg. Like before, interacting with one dial will change another, so you're going to want to listen to exactly what I say very carefully. Shout out to Watchful Wolf for actually making me aware of this strategy. So head to the very top of the lighthouse and turn the yellow dial to the exact number assigned to it. Then head right down to the very bottom to the purple dial, and you want to turn that to the exact number assigned to it. Now head to the second floor to where the orange dial is, but don't actually turn it. Instead, just observe how many turns would be necessary to bring it to the correct number and input that amount of turns into the blue dial 1 floor below. In doing so, the orange dial will be made correct by default, and in my game I got very lucky and completed the step just by doing that. But 9 times out of 10, what you'll need to do as one last final part to this is head back up to the top where the yellow dial is and turn it back to the correct number. If you listen to exactly what I said and didn't touch the orange dial, this step would now be completed and you can see the green light beaming down the lighthouse. And now we come to the final steps of the Easter egg. All you'll need to do is grab a VR11 from the mystery box and shoot a zombie at the very bottom level of the lighthouse, and it will go into the green light. Explosive weapons work best here, but what you'll need to do is kill the agent before it reaches the top of the lighthouse. If you fail, it's no problem. You can just convert another zombie and try again, but you'll know they've died before they reach the top because they will then lay back. Doing this successfully will spawn a vril device which will fall from the ceiling, and you can pick it up right at the bottom level of the lighthouse and take it to the pneumatic tube found to the left of the metal door to take it to the original 4 characters. You'll then want to melee the door again. Eventually, once you keep doing it, the fuse to the right of the door will break. Melee that and it will fix it, and then melee the door once again. Listen to the characters leave the map, and then from there the door will actually open, unlike the original Call of the Dead, for you to enter the room and claim your Wunderwaffe. And you have successfully beaten the main Easter egg for Call of the Dead Remastered. For those who don't know, this Wunderwaffe doesn't go away on a timer. It's only when you run out of ammo or change weapons, and it also overrides the death machine power-up that you'd get from killing George Romero with this Wunderwaffe. So a pretty dope reward. But that concludes this video, lads, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope you enjoyed this guide Major shout out to Sean for developing Call of the Dead Remastered, and do subscribe if you're new because I'm going to be going ham for Custom Zombies content in 2023, and I hope to see you all there. Much love, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.